Welcome to Korea Today, brought to you live from Seoul.
President Park Geun-hye proposes meetings or three-way meetings with rival party leaders over the parliamentary deadlock surrounding allegations of election meddling by the state spy agency.
The Korean peninsula could be facing dire consequences, says a Russian source. We'll tell you more about it in the headlines.
Experience working at a medium-sized company could help you land a state job. We'll tell you why on In Print.
How about a trip to some of today's hottest contemporary artists? I'll be back later with more details on that.
She is at the top of her game these days. Actress and model Clara reveals her many different charms. We go behind the scenes with Clara and check up on her latest. With the fluctuating daytime highs and early morning lows, you can easily catch a cold. Take it from me, Chef Matthew Chung has the perfect dish to kick away that flu, live on this Friday, September 13th, 2013.
From Arirang News, this is Korea Today.
And good morning, happy Friday. Thank you for joining us on Korea Today.
Good morning, everyone. The national flag, taegukgi, is something we see around us almost every day, but it's a whole new story when you see it in North Korea, and that's exactly what happened yesterday. A group of 22 South Korean athletes, weightlifters, in fact, marched in under the South Korean flag to take part in an international competition taking place in North Korea.
Okay, a couple of firsts worth mentioning here. This is the first time that the taegukgi, or the Korean flag, was ever displayed in a public event in North Korea since the division of the Korean peninsula. And this is also the first time that South Korean athletes are participating in an international sporting event in the North. And also, there may be another first.
That's right. If the South Korean athletes win a gold medal, North Korea has agreed to play the South Korean national anthem. I know that's going to give goosebumps to a lot of South Koreans.
That's right. We'll keep an eye on what's happening at the sporting event. For more on your headlines, we're joined by Na Hyun-kyung.
President Park Geun-hye seeks to break the ongoing deadlock between ruling and opposition parties. The presidential office said Thursday the president wishes to visit the National Assembly next Monday to brief lawmakers on her state visit to Vietnam. But on the sidelines, she also intends to hold a three-way meeting with the leaders of the two main rival parties.
We hope the meeting will take place for the sake of the nation's interest, leaving factions and everything else behind. We intend to engage in talks and disclose what we discuss, including overall state affairs and related problems.
President Park originally wanted to hold a five-way meeting, including the two floor leaders of each party, contrary to the main opposition Democratic Party's persistent call to hold a one-on-one between its chairman Kim Han-gil and the president before holding any kind of meeting. The DP, which has been demanding the president apologize for last year's alleged election scandal, says it will not give Cheong Wa-dae an immediate answer. It would be a disaster if North Korea's nuclear reactors in Yongbyon are found to be running again, a Russian source says. Citing an unnamed diplomatic official, the Russian Interfax news agency says some activity is definitely taking place at the nuclear facility. The source then went on to warn that if Pyongyang is indeed taking steps to restart its reactors, it could lead to terrible consequences, if not a man-made catastrophe, as the reactors are in a quote-unquote nightmarish state. This comes after a satellite image from late last month showed white smoke rising from the facility. The Yongbyon site was suspected of having produced weapons-grade plutonium and was shut down in 2007 under a six-party talks agreement. Korean waters near Japan are safe from radioactive materials so far, according to the country's Oceans and Fisheries Ministry. After conducting tests along with the Nuclear Safety and Security Commission, the ministry says seawater samples from 6 different locations adjacent to Japan either tested negative or only insignificant traces of radiation were found.
We will test our seawaters for radiation more frequently from now on and also conduct monthly tests on marine organisms along the coastal areas.
The National Fisheries Research and Development Institute also ran tests on some 20 popular local fisheries products, including mackerel and squid, but no induced radioactive material was detected. And no surprises from the Bank of Korea's monetary policy meeting yesterday. As expected, the central bank left the key interest rate unchanged at 2.5%. It said the local and global economies will stay on the path of moderate recovery in the coming months. But officials said, and analysts also, Korean policymakers will have to make sure the local economy doesn't get hit by possible capital outflows when Washington decides to taper its stimulus measures.
If the Fed pulling back from its stimulus programs prompts capital flight in only a handful of emerging markets, the risk to the Korean economy won't be that substantial. But if foreign investors pull out from all emerging markets, the impact on the economy will be huge.
The BOK left its 4% growth outlook for next year unchanged as well. Experts widely predict the central bank will keep the key interest rate unchanged for the rest of the year.
And happy Friday, everyone. The main story on the front pages this morning is President Park Geun-hye's invitation for discussion with the leaders of the country's two major political parties. The Democratic Party, as you know, has been waging a protest outside of Seoul City Hall, and legislative business has been at a standstill since the fall session opened earlier this month. The headlines are all generally similar, so let's go ahead and take a look at the story on Gyeongyang Shinmun. The headline reads, President Park proposes three-way talks, DP defers response. And you heard about the story at the top of the headlines as well. The date that is being considered for the talks is the 16th. That's Monday before the Chuseok holidays. And the newspaper says this is the first time the president has proposed to meet at the National Assembly and not at the presidential office. It has her spokesman explaining the move as her show of respect to the parliament, as well as her commitment to see the political wrangling through. But the main opposition Democratic Party has responded by saying they are still trying to figure out what the president's intention behind this meeting is. And scooting right over to 동아일보 now has a similar main story there. The image shows the floor leaders of the rival parties shaking hands as the newspaper asks whether the entangled political situation will unravel itself. Let's go ahead and take a look at the side story here. Interesting headline capturing the newspaper's interview with the Strategy and Finance Minister / Deputy Prime Minister Hyun Oh-seok, pictured there. Headline reads, experience in medium-sized enterprise priority over English and other qualifications in government hiring. And this is one of the points that President Park Geun-hye's so-called economy control tower made during his interview. Hyun said that he expects the enforced measure, that is, to give priority in hiring to those candidates with 3 years or more of work experience at a mid-sized company, would encourage young people to jump into work opportunities in those companies rather than opting to not work and focus on raising their TOEFL scores or English proficiency test scores, or on boosting other aspects of their resume for a job at a conglomerate. Now, other plans he outlined in the interview include easing unnecessary environmental restrictions that hinder company growth, and also helping city doctors provide services remotely, for example, giving second opinions to patients in the countryside through video diagnosing. All right, scooting right over to 조선일보, as you can see, similar headline there. We'll go ahead and take a look at the story under it. The headline reads, 15 past Air Force chiefs of staff recommend to President stealth function needed in next-generation fighter jets. And the story does come in the context of the government's plans to invest in fresh fighter jets. Boeing's F-15s appearing to be the only option that meets the government's budget at this point. And the paper says that this is the first time that the group of past Air Force chiefs have submitted a petition to publicly express their concern in the government's purchasing of specialized weapons. The group that includes virtually all of the surviving former Air Force chiefs of staff not hospitalized or abroad emphasized that having the stealth feature was imperative in such an investment and that it should take precedence over budgetary restrictions. But it seems that the Defense Acquisition Program Administration has responded by saying that going back to the starting point is not an option. And finally, let's take a look at our business newspaper, Korea Economic Daily. We'll take a look at the headline down here, and the headline reads, Samsung invests additional $500 million in China's Xi'an. And the article says the money will be used to build a post-processing plant. Samsung Electronics will also open a comprehensive research and development center, making it the 8th research center for the company in China. And the added investment brings the total amount put into the massive semiconductor plant at the Chinese ancient city at $7.5 billion. That further boosts the project as Samsung's single largest overseas investment for a chip-making plant. And with that, we'll wrap your look at what's in print on this Friday. Next up are your closing numbers from Thursday's market action.
Let's now get a check on the weather. I believe there's a heavy rain advisory issued across the country.
Wow, we had some heavy rain on the way out here early in the morning, and we're glad that some of it has subsided because it is going to be rush hour real soon. We'll head on over to Dami for today's weather. Good morning, Dami.
Good morning, Dami.
Happy Friday morning, everyone. Today I'm reporting live from Gangnam. Now, just a few moments ago, we did see heavy rain this morning. However, currently at the moment, it looks like conditions have lightened up just a bit, and we are seeing some light drizzles right now. Now, the entire nation will be seeing mostly cloudy skies as we are under the effect of a low-pressure trough coming in from the west. But here in Seoul, Gyeonggi, and Gangwon province, there are heavy rain advisories that have been issued. So all I can say is please be careful on your morning commutes and take it easy on the roads as they may be quite slippery. Now, it looks like later in the evening, the rain will momentarily come to a halt. However, tomorrow morning, it will start once again, and it looks like we'll be starting off the weekend on more of a wet note. Now, as for the temperatures, currently it's 20 degrees Celsius. Later, our highs won't be that far off at 24 degrees. With that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the weather around Korea. Over in Daejeon, highs will reach up to 26. Daegu will be a bit hot at 29. Gangneung and Busan at 28. Gwangju at 27 and Jeju Island at 29 degrees. Tomorrow the rain will continue, however conditions are expected to clear up later in the day, and on Sunday we'll have nice, beautiful weather. That's all I have for the forecast. Have a fantastic weekend. I'm Ida-mi, Korea Today.
And thank you very much, Tommy. We've talked about folk art or Korean folk art on our program several times, but we also have a pretty sizable contemporary art culture. And joining us is Im Yoon-hee to help us navigate through the endless number of art exhibitions. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. You know, it's too bad we don't have the whole show to talk about just art exhibitions because I had a really hard time picking which ones to bring in today. But I did manage to narrow it down to 3. So I went to the exhibits of famed artist Michel Henry, as well as our very own Kim Chang-yeol and American photographer Jordan Matter. And the three of them are contemporary artists, but they all have very different styles. One can make the canvas come to life, while the other can take reality and make it look like something out of a dream.
Okay.
And so now let's take a look at what's popular in contemporary art these days.
Strolling down the halls, it's easy to convince yourself you're looking out a window on a rainy day instead of touring an art gallery. That's because each one of these canvases have been ornately decorated with hand-painted water drops. And from afar, it looks convincingly real. But take a step closer and you'll see the gentle strokes with the myriad of colors that make each water drop come to life.
I feel like I'm looking at pearls, and if you go up close, it doesn't seem like anything. But from far away, it's perplexing and mysterious. These water drops are beautiful and really fun to look at.
Kim Chang-yeol is one of Korea's most recognized contemporary artists and has become globally acclaimed for his simple yet beautiful water drop creations. This exhibit is titled 50 Years of Painting and showcases Kim's career works, including some of his most recent pieces that have never been shown to the public before. Looking at the progression, you can see that the clarity and artistry of each water drop remains consistent through the years, regardless of the change in backdrop. His more recent series features his water drops over a spread of ancient Chinese characters, creating a harmony between nature and humanity. And while some artists opt for a realistic approach, others prefer more whimsical work. The Seoul Art Center has opened an exhibit featuring world-famous French artist Michel Henry, who has gained quite the reputation for his beautiful floral paintings.
Since he was a young boy, Michel Henry loved to look at flowers, especially the ones in his windowsill, and from there, his inspiration grew. So he started drawing colorful flowers in vases, and even though it was on a canvas, he wanted to make the person looking at the painting feel as if they're receiving real flowers.
Recognized as one of the most important French contemporary artists, Henri brings passion to his work through bright and vivid colors. And like artist Kim Chang-yeol, Michel Henry sees the beauty in nature and brings the ungraspable to his canvas. And with over 40 different works on display, viewers can see how Henri creates a flurry of seasons and emotions with just a stroke of his brush. However, not every artist paints his work. Some capture it. Like American photographer Jordan Matter, who has established himself as a distinguished artist within the photography world. In his pictures, he captures people in the midst of their daily routines, but with a little twist. Quite literally, Matter photographs people twisting and turning and dancing through their day.
The Jordan Matters Dancers Among Us project includes pictures taken by photographer Matter of dancers. But this isn't a performance where dancers get a script and dance on a stage. Instead, they dance in everyday places like the airport, library, shopping center, and even the subway.
But Matter uses the physical abilities of the dancers to create these unique moments, adding a sense of fantasy to the otherwise mundane. Now, it may look difficult for the dancers to achieve such physical contortions, but it's just as difficult for the photographer. Each rapid movement doesn't involve a flurry of shutter sounds. Instead, Matter has one chance to take that shot.
Oh my God, is this amazing!
He waits until the exact moment to click, and the result? The collection of fun pictures you see in front of you that leave many wondering where the boundary of real life ends and where the imaginary begins.
Those paintings by Kim Chang-yeol, those water drops are so fitting for a rainy day like today. You just can't afford to buy them, right?
Oh, yeah, they are pretty expensive. They run up there. They go up there, don't they?
They do.
All right. Well, it looks like these sequence shots and these action shots, they have to be so difficult just to get that perfect moment in time, in that frame, right? Jordan Matter, he actually works with a lot of dancers. Is there a special reason that he chooses to work with dancers?
You know, he actually has another series on display called Athletes Among Us, and that's also showing at the same museum, but he does work mostly with dancers, and that's because he believes that dancers are storytellers, not in the traditional sense, but through use of their bodies. And dancers they have the artistic ability as well as the physical ability
They're flexible, too.
Yes, to capture sort of this imaginary world and this idea of like emotion, fantasy without saying words. And so Jordan Matter wanted to photograph these dancers and tell their story at the same time, create this imaginary world within everyday life.
Does he explain why he takes just one shot per one scene instead of taking multiple shots on a fast speed mode?
You know, he believes with his pictures, all the elements have to sort of come together. So instead of taking hundreds and hundreds of pictures, he believes in this idea of this instantaneous moment where everything just comes together right at that time and it's perfect. So that's when he takes his pictures. But you know, those action shots are a lot of fun to take. I don't know if you guys have taken any of them, but I actually took a stab at them myself. And, and they were challenging, but they were.
So that's jumping, right?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
His series is called Dancers Among Us, but I think I'm going to have to call mine
Not quite a dancer there.
Dancing Reporters Among Us. Is that okay?
Oh, this one's, wow. Okay, drinking coffee there.
Wow, wasn't the coffee
interesting.
hot?
So you took the liberty of trying out some of the scenes from this pictures by Jordan Matter.
Yes, I did.
It wasn't easy, was it? You know?
No, it's not. You know, it's neat how you don't expect the picture to come out that way. You kind of rolling around the streets, jumping around, and you don't expect the picture to come out. But when you look at the final product, no, it's really neat to see.
Wow, good work on your part.
There's
and also
a
the
reason
photographer.
why they're called arts, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you for your report today.
Thank you for having me today.
All right, thank you. And still ahead on Korea Today, we will meet a star who's not rising but is way up there. She's rather popular and she's dazzled many with her stunning looks, head-spinning charisma, especially with that infamous first pitch. We sit down with the newly uncovered rising star, Clara, who tells us what she's been up to and what keeps her going.
Well, the official start of the autumn season is still 2 weeks away, but there's no denying that autumn is here. And this past spring and summer, the vivid colors and also casual sporty looks were the it look, but the season has changed, so should your wardrobe, right?
And I look forward to this segment as much as anyone else because I really don't know what's up in fashion, to tell you the truth. But all I know is that autumn fashion this year, it doesn't stop just at clothing, but it also goes to cosmetics, makeup, accessories, and much more. So we'll get a look.
A cool breeze is now in the air, and when it comes to the season of harvest and autumn leaves with colors transforming to shades of gold. What trends will lead this year's fall fashion? From clothes, hairstyles, and makeup trends, we look at the 2013 autumn look. The key word for this year's fall trend is diversity. With more people going after their own look, this year's fall wardrobe is expected to be rich in style. What are some of the main trends to go after? First up is the romantic punk look. This year, instead of a dull cardigan or simple trench coat, get adventuresome with a more powerful look that will likely lead the way.
For the more feminine crowd, the fabrics have become a bit softer. And the punk look that has its original wild element, but with an added feminine touch, is more common now.
Second up for your fall look is abstract floral patterns. The floral print trend, conventionally strong throughout spring and summer, will continue this fall. Rather than distinct flower patterns, we'll be seeing more abstract shapes this season. Checkered patterns will also be strong. They have been loved every year, but there are slight differences in style. This season, damier checkers along with houndstooth checks and tartan checks, almost all checkered patterns will be in this fall.
Of the checkered patterns, tartan checks with larger patterns will be in style. It can look a bit messy if you wear it on top and bottom, so it's good if you wear white shades on top.
How about colors though?
This year's autumn color will be burgundy.
Burgundy is a feminine but classic color suitable for vintage looks, and it also blends with the colors of autumn. The deep red can give off a graceful but smarter look, and even the simplest dresses can transform into an outfit for a special day if in the rich burgundy. The color has already caught on in the celebrity ring, with stars setting the trends. And it's not only in clothes but also in bags and shoes that the burgundy shades can accentuate the trends of fall. In line with the burgundy red clothes, burgundy makeup is also expected to sweep the stage, and we'll show you how to put on this look.
Keep the basic skin tone natural and clean. In the case of the eye lines, a semi-smoky look that has an enchanting but well-defined style works well. And add a burgundy lip color by applying lipstick from inside out.
Burgundy makeup can create a soft and enchanting look with toned-down red-hot lipstick. How about popular hairstyles this autumn?
A flowing natural wave will be in style.
By adding more volume to the roots and big loose curls, you can give off a glamorous look. The added volume to the hair is natural but yet a good look on anyone. Another option is a low ponytail, which gives off a classic and graceful look. If you tie your hair following your neckline and add a twist to the ponytail, it creates a more feminine look not only from the front, but side and back. Or how about a short hairstyle? Simple and restrained looks with the modern touch will continue on with the trend since 2012 into this fall. This year, slim in the front and voluminous in the back will be the way to go. The perfect style for you this fall is to embrace the looks and colors of autumn, and don't forget to add your own flavor of the season.
One of the main fashion points this year is the loose fit. If you keep things simple on the inside but layer it with oversized clothing, you can put on a good look.
You know, I generally associate fall fashion with trench coats, but that just goes to tell you how much I know about
You're an
fashion.
old fart.
Right?
That's what you are.
Well, it seems that strong but beautiful, or beautiful but strong,
Right, masculine
is the way
but
to go.
feminine at the
Yeah.
same time. Right, the key word for this fall season seems to be romantic punk. So this punky kind of and funky look with romantic and feminine touches. So do you
I don't
get that
know.
idea?
I
You look
understand.
lost.
Yes, I am lost. I understand romantic. I understand punk, but I don't understand romantic punk. Although I am sporting a low ponytail.
That's right. Way to go. That's right. And the color for this season is burgundy. And look what we're wearing.
Oh, this is
your tie and
right.
my. Well, this is not exactly burgundy, but the closest we could get.
Right. Pat on our backs for trying.
All right, that was your fashion report, and I caught Hyun-kyung listening to a bit of G-Dragon earlier before the show, and we'll get a chance to see where he's faring or how he's faring on the top 5 K-pop charts. Then we'll be back with Denny Hong.
영원한 건 절대 없어 네가 뭔데 축하해 그새 우란 내 세상의 색깔은 black 처음과 끝은 변해 흙과 배 사람이란 간서에 가끔 못된 망상에 들어 정말 난 왜 이럴까 왜 그 입술은 새빨간 red 거짓말처럼 새빨갛
she put herself on the map with her pants or her long legs or her butt?
I'm
Can
so
I say
excited,
that?
and I can't hide
I'm
it.
talking about Clara, and our Daddy Hong had a chance to sit down with her, and he's all back. She's back with all smiles, right?
Well, it was definitely fun meeting up with Clara, of course. So not only is she known as an actress and model, and of course for her looks, but also for her healthy and energetic style and charm. So we did get to have an interview with her a couple of days ago, so let's take a look.
She is one of the hottest stars these days, Clara. Her sexy looks, along with her powerful, energetic personality, has captured her male fans. We take a look at her head-spinning charm. At a studio in Yongsan-gu, Seoul. A photo shoot is underway, and here we got to catch up with Clara, who is busier than ever these days.
Hello, Korea Today viewers. My name is Clara Lee. I'm an actress, and I'm doing the fashion blogger and model in Korea.
You've been extremely more popular these days,
Yeah.
and so can you just tell us what have you been up to recently?
I was doing this commercial for I'm helping university student for scholarship fee. So I was up to the commercial today, but I've been working on variety shows, reality shows, dramas, and SNL, and many fashion magazines.
Busy.
Very busy.
The model became an instant sensation after showing off a steaming hot first pitch on May 3rd at a Korean professional baseball game. Clara debuted back in 2006 in the drama Invisible Man, Choi Jang-soo, playing the role of Cha Hae-jin. It's now been 8 years since she first started acting. But it's her recent ceremonial first pitch that brought her into the spotlight. With one stunning throw, Clara has become an iconic figure with her sexy looks and versatile charm as a television personality.
Thank you for watching Korean TV News.
She is currently starring in the drama Goddess of Marriage as a leading anchor at an English broadcast channel modeled after Arirang TV. The actress boasts a clean and innocent look along with her well-toned body and is also popular as a model. Clara recently made a splash by becoming the first Korean cover model on lifestyle magazine Mode in the US. And it's not just the looks. She is also well known for her interest in many different social issues. Clara has been involved in supporting patients in need of reconstructive plastic surgery, lowering university tuition, and helping abandoned dogs.
It was for the family project. Yeah, my father brought it, and then I was interested as well. So we started helping abandoned dog campaign. We started the campaign together with my family. So I was shooting the magazine for the abandoned dog project, the campaign project.
Her versatility and many different faces is what Clara is loved for. But what does she think her greatest charm is?
My positive energy. I'm always happy. I'm always cheerful. I want to give my good vitamin energy to people, and they can be happy we all can be happy together.
Clara's confidence makes her shine, and her fans are looking forward to seeing the actress go under many transformations in the future.
So what kind of future plans or goals do you have for yourself?
I want to focus on my acting more. 그런 다음에 이제 좋은 작품으로 찾아뵙고 싶어요. That's my goal.
Well,
That's
look
my
forward
future.
to that.
Okay, thank you. Korea Today viewers, it was Clara. Holidays coming soon. Hope you enjoy with good food, with good family, and please stick with Clara as well. Thank you.
Very sweet and energetic personality that she has.
And that body. Oh. Sorry, I just had to say it.
I think that her body, her physique was well outlined in her ceremonial first pitch. I mean, you can't really go without talking about that, right?
Well, okay, that did happen back in May, and so against Doosan Bears and, of course, LG Twins. But in that game, that pitch, I guess you can say that was really launched her popularity again, because you can say she had a pre-pitch career and a post-pitch career. Well, she's been around for many years, obviously, by 8-9 years already as an actress. But she said in the interview, which wasn't shown, but before the pitch, what happened was people would recognize her and be like, I don't know her name, but I definitely remember the face. And then later on, they were like, oh, now she has to kind of go incognito out in public because of her rising popularity. Of course, she's been doing the rounds on variety shows and TV programs in the past few months, too.
Well, what a difference a baseball game makes, right?
Exactly. I think that's awesome, actually, that you can, of course, increase your popularity just by, throwing out a baseball, which is a great sport.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like she's not just a pretty face. I mean, she wants to raise awareness in various social issues as well.
That's right. So she has been involved with different projects. Most recently, before we did the interview, the commercial she was shooting was actually a promotion for a campaign she's working on right now, which is to provide college students with half of their tuition costs. And so this is not only a personal project, but also she has sponsors from various companies that are pledging to donate money to this cause. And so she is being the model for this campaign for free, as long as the companies do provide this tuition cost for students. I think that's very great, and she's also doing future projects as well. She did mention that if her fans would like to help by suggesting new ideas for future campaigns, they can find her on her SNS site and suggest it. She'll read it and see where it goes.
Sounds like she has a good heart as well.
I think so.
Thank you, Danny, for that story.
No problem.
Well, still ahead on Korea today. If you have a cold like I do, then you might want to stay tuned for this story. Matthew Chung will come up with some dishes that will chase away that cold. As we head into fall, you may feel that you're coming down with something, an unwanted cold, and he will have some perfect dishes to soothe your throat and get that miserable flu out of your system.
Oh, Danny, so jealous. Seriously, nice one there with Clara. But either way, good Friday morning to you all now. Just like we said, we talked about the first pitch, but if you're a baseball fan, your worst enemy is obviously the rain. You're hoping to enjoy your visit to the ballparks, hopefully see Clara once again, and it starts raining and it's canceled. But this time it was over at the first round of the Avian Championships as the heavy downpour suspended the first round of the event. Now, with the nation hoping to see Park In-bi start off the first round of the 5th LPGA Major with the lead, the heavy rain ended up suspending the first round and forced the officials to move the first round to later today. While many of the players waited in the rain for over an hour, all the scores were scratched and everyone will start from the beginning once again. Now, the LPGA hopes to have the tournament still finish on time despite having to play 36 holes on the last day. And moving on to the major leagues, where LA Dodgers pitcher Lee Hyun-jin went after his 14th win of the season, only to fall short against the Arizona Diamondbacks on Wednesday. With the LA Dodgers hoping to sweep the Diamondbacks, Lee Hyun-jin fails to earn his 14th win of the season after pitching 6 innings, giving up 3 runs on 10 hits, while striking out only 1 batter. Now, with the loss, his record now stands at 13-6 with an ERA of 3.07. Meanwhile, Diamondbacks starter Patrick Corbin looking great on the mound, giving up just 1 run after giving up a solo shot to Yaseo Puig in the 7th inning as the Diamondbacks take this game 4-1. And now moving on to some Thursday night's KBO action as the Lotte Giants and the Samsung Lions played a very, very close game as Lotte snuck past Samsung 1-0. Also, the Hanwha Eagles were able to beat the NC Dinos 8-5, your final score. So with that said, let's take a look at the other 2 games that took place last night, starting off with the SK Wyverns taking on the Doosan Bears. Of course, going into the game, here we go over to the first inning of the game. Here's Chejong with a sac fly to right field, and right off the bat, it's 1-0 SK Wyverns. Next inning, here's Chung Sang-ho at bat. He's going to drive this one deep to left field. Back. It's gone, a 2-run shot, and it's 3-0 SK Wyverns. 4th inning this time, here's Park Jae-sang at bat. An RBI single to right, and 4 innings, 4 runs for the SK Wyverns. Gonna fast forward to the 8th inning. SK up 7-0 in this game. Lee Jong-wook RBI double down the left field line gets the Tucson Bears on the scoreboard 7-1. Next up, here's the number 2 batter, Min Byung-hun at bat. Infield single here, but check this out, a defensive mistake brings home Park Gun-woo, and it's 7-2 after 8 innings. 9th inning of the game, you know what they say, it ain't over till it's over, and Choi Jae-hoon sends this one over the left field wall, a 3-run shot, and it's now 7-5 SK Wyverns. Next play, it's deja vu all over again. Kim Dong-han this time deep to left field, another 3-run home run over the left field wall, and Tucson now takes the lead 8-7. But we're not done yet. Here's the next play. Here's the right left fielder, Im Jae-chul here. An RBI single to right, and Tucson completes the 7-run 9th inning, and a perfect bottom of the 9th as Tucson comes back 7 runs down to beat the SK Wyverns 9-7. And next up, the LG Twins taking on the Kia Tigers. First inning, here's Lee Jin-young, an RBI single to center field, and it's 1-0 LG. Second inning, Son Ju-in this time makes this 2-0 LG with an RBI single to right field. Next play, bases loaded for Lee Jin-young, and he's going to send this to deep right center field. A bases clearing triple as the LG Twins now take the lead 5-0. Third inning, the Kia Tigers do get on board thanks to Park In-man's sac fly to right, and now it's 5-1 LG Twins. We're going to shift over to the 5th inning of the game. The LG Twins continue to swing away. This time it's going to be Lee Byung-gyu, an RBI single to left field, and it's 6-1 LG Twins. Before the other Lee Byung-gyu, that's right, there are 2 Lee Byung-gyus at the LG Twins team. This time a 2-run triple, and all of a sudden, it's 8-1 LG Twins. The LG Twins offense too much for the Kia Tigers on the night as LG absolutely crushes the Kia Tigers 11-3, your final score. And now finishing things off in football, despite an impressive 4-1 victory over Haiti and a close match against Croatia, the Korean national football team continues to drop in the FIFA rankings. After the latest rankings placed Korea 58th overall. Now Korea drops 2 places since last month's FIFA ranking and hasn't been this low in the rankings since 2007. Meanwhile, Japan also dropped several spots down and is now ranked 42nd in the latest ranking, with Iran at 48th, Australia at 53rd, and Uzbekistan at 57th, leaving Korea 5th amongst the Asian teams. And with all that said, that's going to wrap it up for me. This has been SJ. Have a great weekend, everyone, and see you guys again for your sports needs.
Well, today I'm so weary. Today I'm so blue, sad and broken-hearted, and it's all because of you. Life was so sweet, dear. Life was a song. Now you've gone and left me. Oh, where do I belong? And it's all for the love.
And now with the differences in temperatures, we keep talking about it, the day and night temperatures, a lot of people are coming down with the cold.
Don't look at me.
All right. So today we're going to be joined by Matthew Chung, not here, but in his cooking studio.
That's right.
To learn about some foods that are good for the
That's
cold.
right. There he is.
There he is right there. Matthew, good morning.
Good morning. And yes, Young, you're correct. Like you're saying, cold season is coming up. And along with cold season, it's autumn. So it's time for one of my favorite fruits to shine. And that's the Asian pear, the Korean pear right here. Pae is as it's known in Korean. And one of the best combinations with pear is toraji, which is the bellflower root. Now, The bellflower root toraji has a little bit of a bitter flavor to it naturally, so it pairs really well with the sweetness of the pear. And we're going to do two recipes, and the first one I'm going to do for you is pesu, which is essentially a little tea, like almost a fruit stew, if you will, cooked inside of a pear. So let's get started. First off, you want to choose a nice looking pear. You want to be nice and round, symmetrical, and you want to create a little lid. So you want to slice it maybe about 2.5, 3 centimeters from the top. So just lop it off like that, and you should get something that looks like this. And with this, you take a spoon and hollow out the center, like so, to create your cooking vessel. And when you do that, it's going to look a little something like this. Oh. And in here, that's where all of that goodness is going to go in, and we're going to steam it right here inside the pear. So what I've done is I've reserved some of the pear fruit that I've scraped out from there, and this is going to form the basis of our pesu. Now, when we put it in here, it's all going to cook down a little bit, and it's going to create even more of that lovely juice. Next, we have the toraji.
I never thought about toraji mixing with pear.
Toraji is supposed to be good.
You just want to chop it simply like that. You want to keep it nice and whole. Toss it. All right, next we're going to put in a little bit of ginger. Also great for colds, also great for your throat, like you said, Minjung. And it's just going to add that great sort of perfumed aromatic nature to it. So a little bit of ginger, we do it.
I love ginger, the aroma. It helps with the throat too. When it's scratchy.
We use that for certain teas as well, right? Okay, mixing all that together.
And the final ingredient that's going to go inside our pesu is the techu. Now, techu is jujube, and it's a dried fruit, and it has a flavor very similar to that of dates. And it's just going to add this nice sort of dried fruit raisiny flavor to it. So here we go.
So it's like a bread soup bowl. Instead, it's a pear bowl.
Combination of 4 different ingredients, all in one
healthy
pear.
too.
Right. Oh.
I remember my mom used to make me one similar to that, but not as healthy. She just put honey in it.
It still helps, right?
Yeah.
And we got the honey for you right here. So this is going to be our last ingredient. It's one of the most important as well because the flavor just goes so well with everything. So in goes our honey. We give it a nice little stir.
I think he just stole your mom's recipe.
We put our little lid on, and into the steamer it goes.
Okay, so you're steaming that.
There we go. So we steam this for about 15 minutes, and then after 15 minutes, it's going to look a little something like this. And here we go. This is our final product. This is also just straight from the steamer as well. Let's take a look right inside.
Wow.
And I gotta tell you, it smells amazing. So this has been pear pesu, and let's take a look at that recipe.
So I promise you, I'll make that this weekend, and I'll sound better next week. No nasal voice anymore.
I'm not a
next
real
week.
big fan of steamed fruit because it just isn't really. You're not used to hearing about fruit being steamed.
You have to try it.
This
though.
is actually very good.
It does sound good.
Even
too.
with honey only, it tastes good.
Right.
And our Matthew is standing by with another dish, so let's go back to him. Matthew?
That's right. For our next dish, we're going to do 냉채, which literally translates to cold vegetables. 냉, cold, 채 referring to vegetables. And basically, this is going to be a salad of pear, cucumber, and toraji. So like the first one, it's nice and warm and soothing. This next one's going to be cool, crisp, and refreshing. So we're going to start with our pear.
Oh, that's an interesting way of peeling. Wow.
Quite a creative way of doing it.
It's actually a very traditional way of peeling. It's known as 돌려깎기, which means to turn and to cut at the same time. 돌려 meaning to turn or to spin. Right? And with this pear, we're going to use to grate it up, and this is going to form the basis of our sauce.
Okay, all I know is that both dishes seem to be a bit labor intensive. It's, there's a lot of work that goes into it.
That ought to do it. And this is what that looks like. Yeah. And to this, we're going to do just a little bit more work, and we're going to pound some pine nuts and put that right in there. So.
Oh, I thought that was another pear.
That looks like another pear.
All right, that ought to do it. Goes right into our grated pear.
So for people who are allergic to nuts, I guess
give that a little
take
stir.
that out, right? My daughter.
And we'll set that aside for now.
He always makes cutting look so easy. When I try to do it, I'm always careful, right?
I can do the exact same thing. It just takes me 10 times longer.
And without the cucumber.
All right, so we got a little bit of chopped cucumber. Next, we're going to put a little bit of toraji in there. Same thing as last time.
So Minjung, this is definitely for you.
Yeah?
I think he's dedicating his recipe to
And
you
now this is
today.
Yeah, right.
You know, some more jujubes.
Minjung, my recipes are always dedicated to you.
Oh, how sweet of you. Feeling left out?
Thank
yeah?
you very much for that.
Both of us are.
Me and
Last
Nangyang
little
over here.
bit of techu in there. All right. So now we're going to take that grated pear and that pine nut, and we're going to put it right in here with a little bit of honey. And we're just going to give that nice little toss. So like I said, this is going to be a nice, sweet, cool, refreshing dish in contrast to that paesuk we made earlier. All right, we're almost done. Just going to take our bowl and we're going to start plating up now. Right here in the center. Pile it on so it looks, we get a nice little height on there.
So is it like a salad? Oh, interesting.
We'll finish it off with a little extra bit of that grated pear.
It almost looks like
And then garnish it with a little bit of pine nut.
Right.
It's a fruit veggie salad.
Whole
This
pine
is
nut right on
interesting.
top. All right. And here you go. This has been our naengchae. So we've done 2 recipes for you today. Thank you so much for dropping by. We'll leave you with the recipe for this pae toraji oi naengchae.
Minjung, my advice for you today, after the show, you run over to Matthew's studio kitchen and eat all those foods.
I thought you were going to tell her to go home and make some of that.
No.
She knows me all too well.
Yes.
I do not cook. Right, well, that's our show for this Friday.
All right, enjoy your weekend, and we will see you back here on Monday morning at 7 a.m.
Have a great weekend. See you on Monday.